In 1992, nestled within the pulsing streets of Madrid, a tale as chilling as the night air unfolded. It began with a phone call, not just any call, but one that Maximo Gutierrez made with trembling fingers and a voice thick with fear. His words, hurried and hushed, spilled into the receiver, telling of shadowy figures, tall and menacing, invading his sanctuary. The officer at the police station, skeptical yet dutiful, decided to investigate, half expecting a mundane explanation. Upon arrival, the officers were greeted not by chaos, but by an unsettling calm. The Gutierrez home, a place where laughter and life should have echoed, was instead shrouded in an eerie silence. The doors and windows betrayed no signs of forced entry. Everything was disturbingly intact. As the officers coaxed the Gutierrez family back inside, a sense of false security began to creep in. The house, deemed safe, seemed to mock them with its quietude. But then, as though the building itself had come alive with malevolent intent, a thunderous bang shattered the stillness. It emanated from the porch, sounding akin to a colossal boulder tumbling and crashing. The officers, adrenaline surging, rushed out only to find nothing. A baffling emptiness greeted them, and in that void of explanation, their nerves tingled with unease. Back inside, the atmosphere thickened with tension. An armoire, innocuous and mundane, suddenly became a harbinger of danger as its door flung open with violent force. An officer, saved by a comrade's timely warning, narrowly escaped injury. Perplexed and now genuinely alarmed, the police scoured the room for any trickery or hidden mechanisms. But their search yielded no answers, only deepening the mystery. Outside, the night air felt safer for some officers, who chose to retreat from the inexplicable happenings. Inside, the remaining few gathered around Mr. Gutierrez, whose story added layers to the eerie tapestry. He spoke of Estefania, their daughter, whose untimely demise was intertwined with the very essence of their home. Her death, he believed, was not just a loss, but the catalyst for the haunting that now gripped their lives. As Mr. Gutierrez recounted Estefania's story, the officers listened. Estefania and her friends had clandestinely convened around a Ouija board. Their innocent foray into the unknown was abruptly halted by a teacher, whose swift intervention shattered not just the board, but something far more intangible. As the planchette, the heart of their spirit summoning, cracked, witnesses claimed a wisp of smoke, like a trapped, ethereal entity, emerged and found its way into Estefania. From that fateful moment, a sinister shadow fell over Estefania's life. Her health, both mental and physical, spiraled into an abyss no doctor could illuminate. Haunted by spectral figures that lurked in the darkness of her room, Estefania's nights became a tableau of terror. Shadows slithered from closets, specters grasped at her in her bed, each night a crescendo of unseen horrors. Her parents, desperate and helpless, watched their daughter's descent into a realm of inexplicable suffering. No medical wisdom, no rational explanation could ease their torment. And then, as sudden as a candle snuffed out by a cruel gust, Estefania's life ended, leaving behind a mystery wrapped in a shroud of sorrow. But death did not bring peace. The Gutierrez home, once a haven of family and love, became a stage for the unexplained. Objects moved, noises echoed through empty rooms, each incident a chilling reminder of their loss. They were convinced. The haunting had begun with Estefania's passing. As Mr. Gutierrez's tale reached its eerie crescendo, the officers, along with the Gutierrez parents, were startled by screams and bangs emanating from Estefania's room. The police, their skepticism crumbling under the weight of fear, accompanied Mr. Gutierrez to the source of the disturbance. The room, empty yet alive with the echoes of screams, bore the scars of the unexplainable. The crucifix that once sanctified the space lay discarded on the floor. The wall, where it had hung, now sported deep, freshly carved scratches, as if clawed by unseen hands. Just half an hour before, those marks had not existed. The officers, hearts pounding, scoured the room, each corner, each shadow, but found nothing tangible. Only the oppressive, lingering sense of something beyond their understanding. The officers' search for the source of the screaming proved futile, deepening the mystery that enveloped the house. As they scrutinized Estefania's room, a palpable tension hung in the air, thick with the scent of fear and the unknown. Suddenly, the walls themselves seemed to come alive with a pounding rhythm, as if the house was a living, breathing entity. In the midst of this chaos, one officer's attention was drawn to a photograph of Estefania. It lay on the floor, the frame intact, but the image itself had been consumed by fire, as though targeted by an unseen force. This inexplicable phenomenon only added to the growing sense of dread that filled the room. Outside the bedroom, another bizarre discovery awaited. A crimson goo, like the lifeblood of the house itself, stained the Gutierrez furniture. This unknown substance, alien to both the family and the officers, seemed to be another piece in the unsettling puzzle that the house had become. Faced with these bewildering and terrifying events, the police, at a loss, advised the Gutierrez family to abandon the house. The decision to leave was swift, and with their departure, the haunting ceased as abruptly as it had begun. It was as if the spirits, or whatever forces were at play, were rooted within the walls of that eerie dwelling. The official police report, a document usually grounded in the tangible and explainable, was filled with accounts of these extraordinary events. Even the chief inspector, a figure of authority and skepticism, attested to the inexplicable nature of what they had witnessed. This case thus stood as one of the most chilling and unexplained in recent police history. Years later, the story of the Gutierrez family and their haunting experience would be immortalized in the film Veronica, a portrayal that would capture the terror and mystery of those dark days. The movie, hailed as one of the most terrifying ever, brought the tale to a global audience, leaving many to ponder the thin veil between our world and the unknown. That's the end of today's tale of mystery. If you found it intriguing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Your support means a lot to me, and I can't wait to share more stories with you in the next episode.